Good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world and across the nation. This is Deja Brew, and today we are bringing you Beyond the Veil, Psychic Investigators. Now, just as a recap, we're actually doing the Charlie Kirk thing today, but as a recap from last week's episode, I want to share the tail end of last week's show. Let me get it bigger. Come on, come on, moving along. Why is it going so slow? There it goes. To use or fun. So that was pretty cool and fun to do and show
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I like that a lot. Okay, closing thoughts. Anybody? We'll just go around the table. We'll start with tech support.
All right. So I think it's some kind of biological spaceship with a bunch of aliens on it.
Okay, Missy.
I think that we're in for a pleasant surprise. It's not what we expected, and then according to our dowsing rods, we're going to get some more information that we haven't received yet. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mike.
Whatever this object is, hey, I'm a UFO experiencer, but I'm not dead set on it being an actual craft, but I'm also not set against it. Whatever it is, it's got the energy behind it that we need and which we are going to get because we're at that level of consciousness. And from what I gathered, it's got a lot of love behind it and a lot of intelligence and a lot of history.
Yeah. And my takeaway and closing thoughts are that I'm really grateful for the message that was relayed, that we have successfully done the work that we needed to do to level up, to raise the collective consciousness, and to do good so that we don't have to suffer more of the bad humps. So I'm really grateful for that for everyone because for me, that's something that has always been a burden on my heart about knowing that these potential earth changes could be really drastically life changing for so many people because so many different people have so many different um, perspectives and situations that would basically render them probably not doing very well and surviving this. And I didn't want that for anyone. I didn't want to know that kind of suffering exists. So for me, I'm very grateful to know that so many more souls are going to be spared from desolate, destitute situations, and that we can all continue to strive for the best and to grow together. And I thank you for tuning in and watching our show. And I thank all of my people for all of their work that they've put into this to make it a great show. Um, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you again. Okay. So I think it's pretty phenomenal and completely unexpected for me, particularly for what I got for the whole Charlie Kirk episode, that last week's show actually fits very nicely into this week's show. So I'm absolutely amazed, awestruck, inspired, and very hopeful for our future, even though the entire world experienced a very tragic thing this past week. Um, with that being said, Mike, if you would like to go first and share what you found, if I'm not putting you on the spot.
No, it's perfect timing. Um,
Okay.
this show, this group never ceases to amaze me. The things that come out your mouth never cease to amaze me. I'm always found shaking my head for a good reason. So I know that last week's challenge and this week's challenge go hand in hand. I felt the same thing. I believe that whatever we have chosen to focus on is exactly the path of the Great Awakening. We are on the coattails of the Great Awakening. The timing of our show and coming together as a group is perfect. And I really believe that this all goes hand in hand. I believe that the two events that that happened between the Ukrainian immigrant and Charlie Kirk happened the way they happened in order, so we could see, so everybody could see. And we've heard this, it's so cliche. Uh, from dark to light is all I keep getting is from dark to light, from dark to light, from dark to light.
That's so
Um,
funny.
Amazing.
it's about a lot of things, and I'm not going to use my first turn right here to blast them all off. I'll be very patient with this, but I did do a one card pool from my custom deck that I made, and I'll let you know I've got the Emperor. Okay, this is a deck that I made myself. This is God of War. This is a very masculine card. I believe we are at war, and it's not the war that we may think it is. It's the war against good and evil. It's dark to light. Like I said, it's against principalities. It's exactly where we're at right now. As I'm holding my blue kyanite right now, I really feel the urge to anything. I was trying to remote view where this Charlie Kirk thing is going to lead us. And you know what's funny, and you know why I couldn't remote view it? It's because it's happening. I don't have to remote view it. It's happening right
Real
in front of
time.
my face. And I got the most goosebumps that I've ever received in my life when I see what's going on, and not just in this country, but across the world right now. And we've talked about this. The tilt, the tilt is starting to tilt. This is this is the mass. This is the group thinking that we have all together. It's coming to a tilt. And I think I'll give someone else a chance. I have a lot more to share, but I'll be very patient, like I said.
No, I want you to continue and to share the rest.
Okay,
Seriously. Like, yeah,
okay.
share everything you
So
have right now. Because you're
I
right. This is a real tipping point.
yeah, this is like a counter, how you have that counterweight. Once you reach a certain
Hmm.
I had this, I take care of exercise equipment for a living, right? I've been doing it for a long time. And I've been to a lot of different gyms. And there's one thing, it reminds me of what my dad used to have when he was with this girlfriend that was a health freak. They used to make me drink carrot juice. They used to hang upside down in the bedroom on this machine to get blood to their head, right?
Yeah.
So I came across this machine and I was like, oh, I know what this is. This is one of those machines where it turns you upside down, right? And gets blood to your head. It's good for you. So I get on, I'm the maintenance guy, I've got my keys, I got change, I've got all this stuff hanging. And I reached a certain point. I got myself in the machine, locked myself in, and I'm like, okay, well, now I got to get myself going. And man, I reached that certain point where that counterweight just took me and whoop, bam, it knocked me completely upside down. I had change and
Oh,
keys
wow.
falling all over the place. It was pretty embarrassing. But anyway, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. We're at that where the counterweight is going to take hold, and I couldn't be more proud and more disgusted in the
Yep.
cockroaches that we see, coming out of you turn a flashlight on in a room, and I'm happy about it though. I'm happy about it.
Hmm.
How could people celebrate something like this? Well, you know what? There's been a program out there, and it's been an ongoing program, and a lot of people unfortunately have fallen for this program, and it's a dark one. And a lot of the things that I did in my meditation, a lot of things that came up was sexual. Okay, there was a lot of sexual things that came up in my mind, in my mind's eye, and so here's some things that I wrote down that I could not help but to write down. Okay, and I don't have explanations for everything that I needed to write down for you right now, but I have good versus evil, dark to light. I go, your sexual preference should not be your identity. Your sexual preference shouldn't define you as a whole. Your sexual preference is personal. Different strokes for different folks. Okay, I get it. But there's something out there that's darker than this. True colors is what I wrote. Dark to light. A lot of people are showing their true colors right now, and it's disgusting, but it's a necessity. And when QAnon came out, everything that came out really set right in my soul. And I got to a point where people were starting to make fun of QAnon. So I've always been kind of quiet about things. I've never been, on the front page saying, hey, this, hey, that. I've always been quiet because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what other people think of me. And it's the same way as being a UFO experiencer. For so many years, I was afraid of what people may think of me. I was afraid that people would think that I'm just completely nuts. And I know that I'm not nuts. And I know that I should be trusting my gut. I got to a point where I'm ashamed to admit that even I thought maybe this QAnon was just some kind of
Yep.
psychic thing that was
Psyop.
done against us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, psyop. Thank you.
Hmm.
I'm embarrassed to say that I got embarrassed that I was following that to a certain point. And I know that this is real. I know that everything that I was reading about from from the QAnons was real. And how could you deny it at this point? From all the things that we're seeing and from what we've heard from QAnon. And I'm glad that I at least had a UFO experience in my life, so I at least know that there's something more to just morning Ralph, morning Sam, every day going to work, hardly having enough time in our life to think for ourselves, just to have to go to sleep and do it all over again. And I have major trust issues with a lot of things, not just some of the things that came across my list like QAnon and UFOs, but God. God is something that I had major trust issues with too. Why? Because it's something that seems like it's been hijacked over and over and over again. So I have major trust issues. But this whole Charlie Kirk thing, I love that man. And you know, he was such a God loving man. And I think the message here that I'm getting is I've got to have faith in something more. And I believe, this is the time where I really need to have faith in God and quit just having a little piece of him set to the side. I always had a piece of my heart reserved for God, but I need to give him my whole heart. And I think this is part of it right now.
I do too, Mike. Very beautifully
Absolutely
said.
Well said.
I
beautiful.
honestly feel like, and I won't go into what I got just yet, but from the messages I received last night, Charlie Kirk is our Stephen from the book of Hebrews. He truly is our martyr that sets a revival on fire, a revival to come back to God. I really do. Thank you for sharing that. That was really beautiful. Jen, are you ready to share with us what you got?
Yeah, as ready as I'm gonna get. Okay, so what I did is I did a meditation, and then I connected with my spirit guides, who is my grandfather, my grandmother, and my best friend Tabby, who has passed away. And I tried a little bit. I asked each one of them separately, what do I need to know about this? And I tried a little bit of automatic writing. So my grandfather's up first. He said, turning point, part of divine plan to awaken the lion. It's time to roar. Then he said, Israel's saved for last. Somehow this ties to Israel. Then my grandmother, my Mima, said, wipe out evil, bring those who are lost back to God, the peace of God that is within everyone. Change is imminent. And then Tabby said, fight, stand up peacefully, shot heard around the world. This will bring healing. I know it hurts. It's hitting so many people in ways they didn't expect.
You did great.
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, you did
Thank
great.
you. I was nervous as hell.
You did really, really great. And
Thank you.
when we get to me, you're all going to know just how great you did. Bella, tech support.
Yep.
What
So
did you have?
I don't have that much, but I have a little bit. And
Okay.
I would prefer to wait to the end to say it.
Well, just go ahead and just say it now, if you don't mind. Okay?
Well, like a lot of you have speculated and said, I know we haven't got to the end of everyone's part, but you get one thing. We've all agreed on one thing, my intuition is saying, and we will come to a good conclusion. And someone is behind this, that's the main person. And there's a lot more. So you could think of it as, let's say, there's, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
So you could think of it as a bug.
A book?
A bug. Sorry.
Okay.
I meant to say bug.
Okay.
So when you see one bug, whether it be a good bug, like a ladybug, or it could be a bug like a mosquito, there's definitely going to be more and more of them. But let's say you find a rare type. So there's like a main one that you gravitate for. So there's a main person behind this, but there's many more. But the main person is who we need to we'll find first, because then we will find everyone else involved. So
Okay.
in my channeling, I found this that this is definitely 100%. Well, I won't say that. 99.9% planned.
Planned.
Yes, I've made up my mind. It's most likely a plan.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was definitely someone that done it, but someone that told them to do it. And I'm getting that the person that done it got some type of reward if they him. So no, they shouldn't get a reward, but these people are very sick, bad people, and that's just a nice way to put it. Because a normal person just debating should not get killed just for debate. I mean, we're supposed to have an opinion, a right to an opinion, and that doesn't mean that someone just awful if they disagree.
That's right. Healthy debate is a good thing.
Oh yeah.
It gives everybody their opportunity for their voice to be heard. And that's an interesting thing, actually, about Charlie and the lady from the Ukrainian lady that was stabbed, is that they were both taken out by their throat chakra,
Yep.
silence their voice.
Yep.
That's symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me in itself shows that this is evil.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Because, may I say one more thing?
Yes. Hmm.
You're 100% correct because even when the almost fully developed fetus, whether that be a mammal, well, it would be a mammal, whether that be a cat or a human fetus, it still has some type of voice. Since birth and slightly before, we all have a voice, even animals that are in eggs.
Right.
Creatures is a better way to put that.
Yeah. Very good, Bella. Very insightful for you. I'm so proud of you. You're wise beyond your years.
Oh yeah.
All right, Missy, are you ready?
I'm ready. First off, I want to say that I'm sending all my thoughts and my prayers and love and healing to everyone affected by this heinous act, and especially to Charlie's wife and his children, his parents, brothers, sisters, whomever he may have that loved him more than we loved him. I don't hardly even know him, but I'm so affected by this. I can't even understand why I'm so affected. Um, but the night that we found out Charlie got was a take. I'm not even going to say it because that doesn't need to be said. But I went to bed and I just couldn't get him off my mind. So when I woke up the next morning, I had this dream, and I wanted to say it because I want to put a pin in it, but I don't want to discuss it at the moment because I think there's more stuff to it that we can actually go into at a later time. But when I woke up, I was telling Kelly I had this dream, and it was an exchange of money, and the exact words was make sure make sure you take him down. And it was very firmly and sternly with the exchange of money. Now I don't want to go into it any further than that. Like I said, we can discuss this later because I really, when I did my meditation, I've got some beautiful things I believe. So I did my meditation and I get little snippets and I don't get a whole lot of like information to it. But my very first thing that I got was light will cover the dark. That's all I got was light will cover the dark. And then I got there's a bigger picture. Revelation. And I seen like you would throw a pebble in the water and you had all these ripples. So it was like a ripple effect. And the words more to come, revival and rejoicing. I just think there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this awful act. Um, you can already see it. You can just look around the world at how much it's affected everyone. Everybody's coming together. There's not been a more united front since 9/11. And I was telling Kelly the other day, we were talking, and I remember seeing a prophet say something about there's going to be another event like 9/11. And I think this is that event. Like, I really do. I think this is that event. And I believe that humanity is going to shine. We're going to shine. We're going to show our true colors, how great we are. We're going to knock out all that darkness, all that evil. Uh, Lord knows it's about time for that. But that's what I got. And it kind of, all of our stuff, like just like last time, is kind of like intertwined with each other. And I'm sure Kelly's got a whole list of stuff that's going to like connect it, all the dots. But
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that we come together and we're all in different areas and we have things that are similar. Like, I mean, the whole dark to light thing is just, it's amazing to me. Like, it's going to be fabulous. It's just going to be fabulous. So that's my 2 cents on what I'm feeling and what I see.
Very good, Missy. Very good. I am really pleased with all of us, like incredibly tickled over how beautifully it all flows together. And again, I'm just going to reiterate how happily surprised I am that we've went from last week's show into this week's show, and it just goes right along with where we left off last week. I mean, talk about divine planning. Everything right down to us, forming this show and getting this specific group of people together, like all of it is fallen into place, in my opinion, just as God has planned for all of us. And I want to applaud all of you for dusting off the cobwebs of your psychic abilities that you haven't used for quite some time, that have been hanging in the closet, waiting for a rainy day. You know, I think you've really done phenomenally well. I'm going to share what I have with you, but key points that I took away from each one of your viewings and your sessions that correlate not only with each other, but also with what I have, that it's a real tipping point, like Mike says, right? The scales tipping, the balance tipping in our favor. Even him mentioning Q or UFOs and giving our heart to God, coming back home to God, like all of that is about full acceptance of self, that true surrender. That's that true baptism meaning in Christianity, that surrender where you just fall back and let it go. And that's what I teach to my people, my clients, is true self-love and true acceptance and that real surrender into self. Because if you don't fully accept who you are and you're brave and proud of that, then you don't really have self-love. And I literally said on a Facebook post today with um, a person that Jen and I both know on Facebook, that it's like all of this happening to us, not just Charlie Kirk, but all of the other things as well. It's like America. If you look at like America's zodiac sign is Cancer, right? This Cancerian called America is in a relationship with the world's worst narcissist. And it's time as a country and as a people and a world to learn those clear boundaries and that self-love and that full acceptance of who we are unapologetically, unashamed. Oh, true self-love. Okay, that's where I was at. True self-love. Um, it truly is about us fully accepting who we are, and not backing down from it, not being quiet, not being small anymore. Be seen and be proud to be seen, because we really are all Charlie Kirk, you know, and we need to take a page from his book with his bravery, because he was never apologetic about his faith in God, his love of family, his love of his country, his beliefs in what our values and our morals and our core principles of our founding fathers of this country are. He stood up for all of that in the face of adversity. And he did it patiently and kindly and welcoming the debate. And we need to all be Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
So, with that being said, I want to share with you what I got because it was kind of a lot. You know me, there's a lot going on in my head. Okay, so the first thing that God showed me was a 7. And I didn't understand the 7 until much later at night. So I'm going to circle back to it in a moment. But I was shown the 7, and then I was shown a mustard seed and how Charlie was the mustard seed that grew us to be ripe for the harvest, and that the harvest is now. This is our time to stand up and be the people that we are supposed to be. It's time to take accountability for your mission and your purpose in this life. So I was shown a revival is coming like never seen before. I did hear things, see things, and experience things that said very clearly that saying that some among us now aren't human is going to be fully recognized by the rest who thought that when we said this before, that it was just woo-woo crap, that all the woo-woo is going to get wiped out because there truly are people on this planet that aren't humans. They're demons. They're evil. Now, I'm not saying we should judge them for that either, just to be clear. In my own opinions of this, all things, even in the dark, have a purpose and a place for God's plan. They're necessary players on the board, if you will, in order for us to grow and learn and become the people we're supposed to be. I was also shown that some type of organization or collaboration similar to CIA, I didn't get definite CIA, it was just similar to CIA type of organizations is involved in this assassination, but that all will be revealed, that all the veils have now lifted. And I'm just going to read it the way I heard it as I was writing. Sleepers no more. My people are awake. A revival now comes. The entire world will forever be changed now for good, for the good. Then I was shown this great big tent, like the old fashioned revival tent, right? Where everybody's sitting on the ground underneath of the tent, just gathered. And I heard the voice say, "This is my gathering. This is the gathering, the revival." All seeing it now, that we are one people and that this is true unity, and it will be an effortless, yeah, I said that right, effortless unity. Then I heard, "Do not fear anything. Trust the plan, the Creator's plan. The demons have been loosed. The veils have been lifted, but righteousness and justice will prevail. This is the purge. This is the true rapture, the true revelations of many things that had been hidden that are now plunged into the light." The 7 that I was shown was actually the 7th seal in the Christian beliefs in Revelations being broken. And the 7th seal not only lets loose the demons, but defeats them and blankets it with light, and we are the
Wow.
light.
Oh my
I was
God.
shown a vision then as I went into a meditative state more than writing. I laid my pen down, and I always see myself grounding and then being in my shield, being in my Merkaba, and floating up into the space above Earth, tethering with Source. But this time, everything changed. Once I got that far into my meditation, it's like my whole visual programming or control panel or whatever you call it was taken over. I was First I was shown that the bubble is crystalline now, but it didn't just represent me in the center of it. It represented all of us as being preserved, if you will, and protected, and maybe even upgraded or elevated from this unity. I could see a golden tether that was spiraling upwards toward source, the brightest, most beautiful light of love I've ever seen. And then another silver cord spiraled and tethered to the earth. And I was observing the cords. And as I looked down at the earth, it didn't look like earth. And I'm like, oh, that's not earth. I must be thinking wrong. And the voice said, look again. And I look again. The reason it didn't look like earth to me is because it was shining as bright as the sun. But when I looked again, I could see it was still our beautiful blue planet. There was just all of these points of light all over it that made it glow with its own light. And the lights were us, guys. The lights were us. Like we were making the whole planet illuminated. And then I saw me get plucked out of my little Merkaba. And I drew a picture of it if anybody wants to see my crappy diagram here.
Hmm.
That source up there and then the earth down there. And me in the middle. Well, I saw me get plucked out of it. And it's still there and it's still tethered, but I'm not in it. I'm just like floating out in space. And I said, oh, why am I out here alone? And I heard, you're not alone. You just won't need this bubble of protection, this shield anymore. None of us will. We won't have to actively visualize putting our own shield around us because our unified connection created a force field of protection for us. So we don't need these individual shields anymore, is what I was being shown, which is really powerful stuff. Then I was brought back down to the earth, and I was shown that swift actions will take place. I saw this very dark blanket or cloud come over the whole earth, trying to push out all the lights. And it almost looked like it worked, like it pushed all the way down flat to the ground, wrapped around the earth. And it looked dark, really dark for a minute. But then it was shoved into the earth, and the darkness was transmuted, and the light shined even brighter, which was us. And I think that was symbolism for what we all just went through this past week with Charlie's passing. Because, yeah, we saw the ugliness of some, but we saw the greatness of many. And that really mattered. So, swift actions, swift changes, swift transmutings of energies across law, across protection, across everything. Swift changes now. And so, Mike, you're right, because you spoke of the now. Missy spoke of the now and true colors, right? true colors, beautiful colors, seeing colors. Those were things that both of you had mentioned. And I was shown that we're now seeing the evil so clearly that you don't have to question it. You don't have to second guess yourself. That need for discernment to be exercised isn't there. It's obvious, it's clear. It's very black and white now. There's no gray area. So that's a beautiful thing that we all saw. Then I heard, clean it up fast, no more waiting for permission, and it is done. Like it's already done. It's already finalized. We did it, guys. We are who broke the seal, the seventh seal, and we are the floodgate of light that blanketed the planet. All of us, everybody listening, everybody that even doesn't listen, we were all part of it. That our weapon, and that this is a spiritual war, definitely. Just like Mike and I think Missy even maybe brought up, and Jen, I think maybe you brought that up too, or something like that.
Something like that.
We are in a spiritual war against good and evil. But the only weapon we need is our light. And we, through free will, turned up the dial on our light, just as Mike saw that he needed that acceptance of himself and not to be ashamed that he knows about QAnon or UFOs or anything else. All of us have chosen on some level or another to dim our light in certain situations for protection, to hide from the evil. And we are no longer choosing to do that. With all of the people across the world who say now, we are Charlie Kirk, everybody just dialed up their light to full brightness. And that's our weapon, because you can't defeat the light when it's unified. And so for me personally, this was very, very beautiful to experience, because a lot of you know, 7 years ago when I started my business, my logo is the lighthouse and the torch, and that we are who we've been waiting for, and that the world as we know it is about to change, and the Great Awakening. All these things that matter were given to me by God, and I went with them. And they fit so beautifully into God's plan that's happening right now before our eyes in real time, that I'm just God smacked, right? It all makes so much sense to me now. You know, I had questions, even though I would walk in that faith and I would trust what I knew I was supposed to be doing. I would play small. I would question how this is supposed to really happen. How do we wake up the whole world, Lord? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. How do you shut down a whole world or slap them awake? How do you do that? But the last leg of our sleeping giant woke up with Charlie Kirk. I was shown that Earth shines as bright as the sun because of all of the lighthouses and beacons that are across our planet, that are our soul, now shining in unison. So, and I was shown the lion. Okay, that was another thing. I made notes here because I was shown a lion. I don't know why I missed that. The lion of God. I was also given the example of Elijah. And then I was shown like Trump's face, Charlie Kirk's face, several people that we all know in the public political eye, their face, right? I was shown their faces, but then I was shown like a multitude of other faces that just flashed, 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 flashed. And it was like billions of people, it felt like. And the message there was that we are all the lions of God now. We are God's army.
Absolutely.
And we are fully activated because of this event with Charlie Kirk. When I personally first started hearing people call him a martyr, I was like really confused about that. I didn't understand what that meant. Why would he be considered a martyr? But I totally get it now. I totally get it, and I totally agree with it. He really is our modern day Stephen from the book of Hebrews. And I know that 100%. I trust that 100% because God told me so. I mean, I was channeling the big guy himself. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, all right. In running this through for everybody, Jen, what's your thoughts on all this now to see how everybody's stuff is just like so fit together perfect?
My granddaddy said time to roar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And I do want to say that I have friends that don't follow this kind of stuff, that don't think like me, and that's cool. I'm grateful for that. And I've seen them post beautiful things saying, I don't agree with the things that Charlie Kirk was about, but this wasn't cool. I'm going to honor him because a father is gone, and it's like their true colors are showing. And I was really impressed because we don't have the same politics and we don't have the same beliefs on most things. But when I saw that, I was touched.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we're all just humans
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
and nobody deserves that. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, his kids were there for God's sakes. His kids and his wife were there. Nobody deserves that. And all of
Yeah.
those college kids that were there and witnessed that, forever traumatized. You know,
Right.
that's not a small
Right.
thing to watch somebody be murdered.
Mm-mm. I'm
I
glad
mean,
I
why do
wasn't
you
there.
think our soldiers come back from war with PTSD?
Right.
Because it's not normal for us to experience that.
No.
It's very hard for the mind to wrap around and deal with. It messes with your psyche. But I'm really pleased with humanity, and I'm really pleased with how well our sessions all blend together so smoothly. We're not trying to nitpick things to fit it. We're not forcing it to fit. It really fits. It really all makes a full picture story, just like last week's episode. And I love that. And I love the group of people that I'm working with. So I commend all of you. Mike, what do you have to say? I know you've got thoughts.
So I've learned so far in the couple shows that we've done, some of the things that come to me don't come to me when I sit down and begin to work on whatever our project is. They come to me throughout the week, and
Yep.
I'm not sure where they come from, these thoughts, but they seem to make sense to me after listening to each and every one of you. And some of the things that I've noticed were that I did not speak on, yet they came to me this prior week, was the lion and our throat chakras being attacked, Kelly. But you know
Yeah.
what I didn't realize? Um, the young girl that was killed from Ukraine. I didn't think about that one,
Yeah.
and that one was dead on the throat. You know, the blue, and I'm
Yeah.
holding blue. I just realized I've been rolling and holding blue crystal in my hand the whole time. Um,
And that's the throat chakra.
that's the throat chakra, and it's an
Mhm.
attack on our free speech. And
It
if you
is.
start to get people afraid to do the things that Charlie was doing, we're not going to get anywhere. And another thing to learn from this is he was able to control his emotions very well during these arguments. And that's a hard thing to do. You look at a lot of the people that step up to and he's so patient with these people, and that's something that we can all learn from him.
Yeah. I think so too.
Um, and another thing that came to me was, heaven on earth. It's just a matter of tuning in,
Yeah.
and I believe that that's what you described was we are definitely tuning in, you know.
Yeah.
The whole lion thing, it came to me as the Sphinx. It occurred to me that the Sphinx was originally a lion. I I'm looking at the head of the Sphinx, and it looks like it's been carved down from originally being a lion. And what I'm getting is what it is. It was always a lion, and it's been carved down to be something else, and it's just a trickery, and to me is what I'm getting from it. So we have truth, we have the lion, we have heaven on earth. So, and now I realize that things come to me the week prior. It's not all about, okay, I'm gonna sit down. All right, Charlie Kirk, here we go. I got my crystals, I got my Palo Santos. It's been coming to me. It's been coming to me ever since you said this is what we're going to do. Subconsciously, it's already came to me.
Yeah. And that's perfect for you, right? It can just
Yeah.
come to you a little bit at a time,
Right.
right? Gives you
Yep.
time to digest it, look at it, meditate with it, whatever you need to do, marinate with it, right?
Right. Yeah, we're not
Um,
perfect. It's not all
yeah,
going to come to me when I go to sit down in front of my energy table.
no. And not everybody is going to be able to do that. Now,
What,
for me
Jennifer?
personally,
Okay, see, the other night it's all over social media. I came home from work. I'm like, Mom, I need a shot of tequila. So we did a couple shots, and she's watching things, and I'm having all these aha moments, but I didn't trust them because I was drunk. But now I see that I could have trusted them.
yeah, because your intuition, your higher self, God, your spirit guides, whoever, whatever, is always talking to us.
Right.
And that's something that I wanted the people that watch our show to be able to learn and take away from this is how to trust those natural things that
Yeah.
are just in us. We
Yeah.
all have this ability. We're all that antenna,
Right.
sender and receiver.
Yeah.
So I think it's really beautiful that we can show how we're learning and how we're gaining our information in all of our different ways, because there is no one shoe fits all, you know, and people, it's not as complicated as people like to think it is, because all of like the
Right.
spiritual world, they make it all these, complicated words, and you got to do this, and you got to be vegan, and you this and that, and right. And there's really no rules. You can
Right.
be anybody you want to be, including someone who drinks or whatever. Like, no, you're not going to connect with God very well if you're staying drunk and and drugged out. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't people think that you have to be some kind of saintly purity in order to be spiritual and talk to God. And you know, I say all the time that I'm here to help finish Jesus's message, and his message really was all about a lot like Charlie Kirk, where you go out in the trenches, you know, you talk to those people that are the homeless or the poor or the whatever, and you love them just the same, and you give them the same knowledge, the same wisdom, the same everything, because they too can do the same as we do, right? I mean, there is no level of purity or sainthood or whatever that you have to be at to talk to God and to shine your light and to connect to your spiritual abilities. We call them psychic abilities, but they're truly spiritual abilities. They're God given. And my ear is ringing like crazy right now. So I know I'm telling the truth.
I got told by too,
There's no
so
doubt in it.
no doubt.
Zero doubts. Because my ear is ringing like crazy at this moment. It's like God saying, Yay. Missy, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Not to be afraid to speak your truth. I agree with Mike. You need the things you've been dimming, or as you said, dimming, Kelly.
Yeah.
Just don't be afraid to admit it. Put it out there. It's a good thing. And the more we speak our truth, the bigger we become, and the more that it affects other people. Maybe that'll give them the will, the want to express themselves as well. Uh, I'm very blessed to be a part of this group, and I learn. This is our second show, and I'm learning stuff every day. That just to trust in me and the things that I see or hear or feel actually means something, and I'm grateful for that. So thank you guys.
Yeah. I'm grateful for it too. I'm, on so many levels. I'm so happy for all of you and everyone that's watching that feels more empowered to try this for themselves. But one of the things that I always said was that Jesus never wanted to be he was a reluctant Messiah, right? Because he never truly wanted like a religion formed against him or for him rather. Um he just wanted everybody to be free and to be free of the rule of the Romans, right? That's what he wanted, the freedom. He wanted everybody to be empowered. And that's what I always say too. And that's why my favorite book is that um, Richard Bach Illusions, um, the story of a reluctant Messiah, because I have experienced this in my life, being able to naturally, easily see dead people, talk to dead people, help people to heal themselves, help to diagnose them. Then, I was like always just the go-to person. And I would be like, no, but you can do this too. Let me show you how. And no one wanted to listen to the how. They just wanted me to hand them their band-aid, you
Hmm.
know? And it's not that I don't want to heal people. I love healing people. I enjoy it greatly to be that vessel, you know? Um, but I want other people to know that they can do that too. So for me, teaching it and seeing the results of that are much more rewarding than having a line full of people waiting for my help, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of that unfolding right now in various different ways. And I am truly excited for our future. Like, I can't even put it into words how excited I am for us as a group and for the world, our country. I see so many beautiful things coming to pass. And you're right, Mike. We're in it right now. Like it's unfolding right now and we're creating it. We're co-creating it collectively just simply from changing our free will, getting off the fence, not being of two worlds or two minds or being neutral like Switzerland. We've made a decision, we picked a side, and it's clear. It's clear and it's concise. And that is what makes it effortless.
It's yeah, we learn as a collective. We learn as a collective, the earth, and we learned as a collective within this group. And we're learning. I'm learning that to pay attention to to the week prior to leading up to our show. I'm learning these small little things. And you're right. You don't need to be some monk sitting on the top of a hill meditating uh, to be a prophet. There's over just 9 billion people on this planet, and there's a lot more need for prophets. And like I said, they're not all, walking through a desert with a robe on. They look like you.
Right.
They look like me.
Right. Exactly. And I love that. I love that people are seeing that. And interestingly enough, earlier today, I said this on my live show. Unity, the word unity is inside of the word community. And we're really coming together as a community and in unity. And I just love that was pointed out to me. But as we were all talking and discussing the show tonight, the Cyndi Lauper song True Colors came to my mind. And I can't get it out of my mind, right? The True Colors song. But also the little kid song, This Little Light of Mine. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That song is like the theme song of this entire show because we have all decided we're just going to let that little light shine,
We're no
you know?
longer gonna hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is a great revival. And interestingly enough, I had heard that message that a revival is coming a few months ago, but I really didn't know what that meant. I didn't know the extent of that, because this is so much bigger than any of us.
Yeah.
This is huge, like really, really huge. And it goes right along perfectly with Three Eye Atlas bringing us gifts and change and more to come, right? Like Missy got from hers.
Yeah.
There's more information to come. And I mean, we've really taken the lid off of a great big, I don't even know. Maybe we finally broke the door to the library, right? The
Mhm.
Akashic Library or something. It just feels really big to me. Really big and beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'll wait till Missy gets back for us to close. But Jen, I just want to say how proud I am of you for being so brave this
Thank
week
you.
to try your new things and old things rather. Try again
Yeah.
at your old things. And you did so really well with it. Like I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. That means a
I
lot.
Yeah, I just can't say it enough. I'm really proud, and I'm proud of Mike because, and I always love hearing Mike's because Mike's is usually pretty detailed the way mine are. So I always love to hear what his take is because that's how I gauge myself in secret. It's like, I'm like, all right, if Mike got this, it must be right.
Yeah.
And Missy too. Missy's just really in leaps and bounds, effortlessly, truly, because she normally is very nervous about stuff like this. She's nervous just to sit in front of a camera normally, but she's really nervous to try to tap into her own powers, her own abilities and stuff. And I've been, eking her out of her box a little at a time, making her peek out. But for this show, she has really just took control. She went off in another room for both episodes that we've done now and just really did her own work and um, trusted it. That's so hard to do. I understand completely because, like I said, I even just, I'll write all my stuff down. I'm like, well, maybe it's nonsense. I'll gauge it by what Mike gets.
Mhm.
but, but she was just, so trustworthy with it or trusting with it, where she just let it happen. And she got so much more this week from last week, just from two times of doing the show now. And I'm just really proud of how open all of you are being, and Bella included. I tell Bella all the time how proud I am of her because I don't force this on her just because she's my daughter. you know, um, all seven of my kids, they've had their own free will honored their entire life, and they can believe whatever they want to believe. I don't tell them what to believe. And she has just really run with exploration of who she is. And in this past year, she's really flourished as a beautiful little soul, old soul in a tiny body. So I applaud all of you. And I thank everyone for tuning in. And I really hope that this touched your heart and this gave you hope for our future and better understanding of what God's bigger plan is for all of us and how he could let something like this happen to such a great person. I know that when you're grief stricken, that's very difficult to see. And I completely relate to that. And everyone out there that's still mourning, me included, that's okay. It's okay to still be in mourning. But it's also okay to be open minded to the understanding that there is a bigger plan at play here. And we are all going to come out of this amazingly beautiful because of these tragic events. There is a lot of hope in the world today that wasn't there this time last week.
Amen.
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 So thank you for tuning in. And until we see you again, be well and be blessed in love and light.
Hmm.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.